friends. I'm Coach Natalie Carey, a certified personal trainer. Today we're going to be doing a mobility session where all you need is a mat. This is all body weight. Let's start lying on your back. If you have very tight hamstrings, you may want a yoga strap or a belt of some sort for this. I'm going to lie one leg down on the floor, grab behind my other leg, and start to straighten that leg out and then bend it. During this lying hamstring stretch, I want to get the knee all the way straight. So if you're grabbing behind your leg and you're only able to get here, I really recommend getting a yoga strap so that you can lower the leg down to a place where you can fully extend that leg. We want to bring that hamstring through a full range of motion, or the knee joint through the full range of motion, and we want to bring the hamstring muscle into a full extension. Few more seconds here, and switch to the other side. Grabbing behind the leg, bending, and straightening. And today I don't care if your foot is flexed or pointed or relaxed. As long as you're feeling this stretch in the back of the hamstring, you're good. All of the moves today, we're gonna go through them twice. And I want you to notice on the second round, does my body feel any warmer or looser or like it's able to move a little bit more? Let's do one more, and then we're gonna roll over onto our side for some open books or book openers. Hand goes underneath my head to support me, other hand also comes behind my head. I'm rolling onto my side, knees are bent, and then I bring that elbow down towards the floor, opening the chest, and then I close it again. And you are trying to get both shoulders on the floor. So don't let that original one pop off as you're rotating. And you will feel this stretch in your spine as it's twisting. You're also going to be feeling this stretch in your chest, in your shoulders, as that elbow reaches away from the other one. Last one, and then let's switch to the other side. All right, get over onto the other side in whatever way is comfortable for you. I'm turning around so that you can see me from this camera angle. You could just flip over if you wanted, and let's go straight into that other side. I love this one. I always get a couple of bonus pops, crackles here, which always feels great. And a lot of my clients that have tightness from hunching over their computer or looking at their phone for long periods of time really love this one. We'll do a couple more reps here, and then we're gonna go back to that very first move we did, that lying hamstring stretch. Last one. And roll onto your back again. Grab behind your leg, other one straightens, and we start to straighten and bend that leg in our hamstring stretch. So this is your first moment here to see, is there any difference between the first set and the second set? Are you noticing that maybe that leg is lengthening, straightening out a little more easily? Or maybe not. Maybe you're just as tight as when you first started. We're human beings, it happens. Remembering to breathe. And I want you keeping that second leg down on the floor. Last one. Let's lower and switch the other leg, grabbing behind and then straightening. Now this stretch, this is a really good one that you can do in a lot of different situations. You could do it like first thing in the morning when you're lying in bed. Maybe you want to do a little tiny warm up, or maybe you're like, I just can't convince myself to get out of bed to go to the gym. Maybe this is one movement you use to gently introduce movement to your day. Release that leg. Let's roll back onto our side for our book openers. Here we go, 3, 2, 1, opening that chest towards the ceiling and closing. This is another movement that you could also do in bed first thing in the morning. I want 2 more, and then you can get over onto your second side any way you'd like. I'm gonna sit up and flip around for you. Here we go, second side, 3, 2, and 1. And this definitely feels looser on the second go around for me. And I have a lot of people who reach out to me who are saying, I wanna have a better relationship with exercise that is not associated with weight loss or making myself smaller. So if that's you, and you're looking to kind of change your relationship with exercise, I think that mobility, which is what we're doing right now, I think mobility is one of the most effective ways to create that relationship, because you get this immediate effect of your body feeling better. And that gives you a better, like a positive relationship with your body that you can take into the rest of your day. And relax. Sit up. I want you to bring one leg in front of you, one knee is bent, and we'll bend towards that straight leg till you feel the stretch in your hamstring, and then come up. I'm trying to keep my back as flat as possible as I reach forward. It doesn't have to be perfectly flat, but I don't want to see you rounding forward to get into that stretch. Because the flatter that you keep your back, really like the less amount of hinging forward you have to do to get that stretch in the back of the leg. And I'm also feeling this in my low back as well. It feels really nice. If you have a belly, you can just shift the belly to the side so that you could get a little deeper towards your hamstring, towards your leg. Switch over to the second side. You can just straighten and bend out those legs. Again, flat back, chest is open, hinging yourself from the hips towards that straight leg. I love movement, so whatever motivates you to show up and move, cool, you're welcome to work out with me. But as somebody who did used to have a pretty disordered relationship with exercise, I was always using it to lose weight. Thinking about exercise as a way to take care of my body or continue living the lifestyle and doing the activities that I want to do, that's a really nice way for me to think about movement. That helps to motivate me to keep doing it, but also allows me to have like a really healthy relationship with exercise. Last one. Keep this leg straight and then bend the other leg, placing the foot on the floor. I'm gonna back up a little bit. Next, we're letting this knee fall down towards the ground and then pulling it open back to the starting position, and that's it. For me, this position tends to be hardest. My hips are tighter during this internal rotation than they are when I bring the knee back up towards the ceiling. But I think everybody's a little bit different, so you might find a different spot in this movement that feels challenging for you. 2 more on this side. And then we're gonna bend the other leg. Good, bend the other leg, straighten out the first one. We let that knee drop down towards the floor and then back up. This side is way tighter for me, especially on that internal rotation. Woo, I'm feeling like tightness all across the front of the hip. You might not get all the way down to the floor, that's okay. Move in the range of motion that your body's capable of today. Make notes. Like literally, you can make notes on like the notes app of your phone, or you can write it down in a notebook. You can say this certain stretch felt really tight, and then revisit this workout. Come back to this movement. See if you found any improvement on it. Let's do one more drop and relax. Have a sip of water if you need to. We're gonna go back into that half straddle hamstring stretch. I'm bringing one leg out straight in front of me. The other leg is tucked in. Mine's pretty tight here. Yours might be a little bit more elongated. That's fine. We lift up, straight back, and hinge forward. I'm noticing on this second round, a lot of the tension that I was carrying in my lower back has been released in the last couple of minutes. That's a nice bonus. During the second round, see, can you reach your chest forward and closer to that leg? Remember, not rounding the back, that's a cheat. And remembering to breathe. Let's do one more and then switch to the other side. Good, straightening out the front leg, tucking the other one in. We sit up tall and hinge forward. If you're in this movement and you're like, I'm not really going that far before I feel a huge stretch in my hamstring, that's good feedback. Maybe you have a very tight hamstring. Maybe you got tight glutes or a tight low back. All of these things are very common. Just keep trying to lift your chest up and hinge from your hip joint as opposed to letting yourself round forward. Just keep working on it. That's what we do. That's what movement's for. Remember my trick with that belly, if you need to shift it out to the side, or to the inside to get further down, you can use that technique. Let's do one more. Chest is super tall. Great. One knee up towards the ceiling, other leg out. We let that knee drop down towards the floor. We pull it back up. Ideally, we're keeping both hips down on the floor as we do this, but I can feel this moving hip, like I can feel the butt cheek popping off the floor a little bit. It's pretty hard for me to keep it down on the ground, but if I do, whoa, that really changes the movement. I don't go quite as far down. So your choice, whichever one feels more productive for you. I'm actually gonna stay in this harder one because the first variation was feeling pretty easy for me. So I'm gonna stay right here, keeping both butt cheeks down on the ground, still doing that internal rotation. And remember, nothing should feel painful or pinchy here. We want it to feel like a stretch, like we're releasing tension. Last one, and switch to the other side. Other knee bends. All right, I'm gonna start by letting that knee come all the way down to the floor. Now again, I feel this hip popping off of the ground. I'm gonna switch over to that other technique where I keep the hip pinned down to the floor. Here we go. And it's gonna totally, oh my gosh, look. It's gonna totally change this movement. So I'm still internally rotating, but now I'm keeping the hips in one place. This is so much harder. Choose whichever variation serves you today. Give me 5 more seconds here. Good, shake those legs out. Flipping onto hands and knees. This is our starting position. You're going to tuck your toes under you. Straighten the legs, push the heels down towards the floor as you come into a downward dog. Lower the knees back down towards the floor. So we're alternating. Quadruped to downward dog. And you do not have to keep this tempo. If you wanna go at a slower pace and really relish each of those positions, that's fine with me. This is your time. This workout is meant to support you. So if you need to do something slightly differently from me, I'm here for it. Give me one more. Holding that downward dog. Bring your hips forward so you're in a plank. And now bring one foot forward so we're in a runner's lunge. This is our starting position. We drop the back knee. We push the hips back into a hamstring stretch. Wow. Okay, push the hips forward, lift the back knee, runner's lunge again. You are also welcome to grab some yoga blocks to bring the floor closer to you. This position, I feel my hip flexors, the front of the hips. As I walk it back, I feel it in the hamstrings. Come back into that runner's lunge, lift up the knee. We bring the leg back into a plank. Other leg comes forward, and you're now in a runner's lunge on the other side. Drop the knee, hamstring stretch on the second side. Something I'll see people do in this stretch is they will let their butt drop all the way down to their foot. If you're doing that, that tells me you're probably letting your spine round a lot. So try to keep your butt lifted off the back foot and keep your spine as straight as possible. For most people, myself included, it's really hard to straighten out the back in this position because it forces length in that lower back. It forces length in the hamstring. It's a tough one. Last one here. Good. Swing that leg around. Take a little wrist break if you need to. We're going back onto our hands for that downward dog to quadruped. Place the hands underneath you, tuck your toes. We push the hips up towards the ceiling and then release back down. If you're finding that this mobility session is a little bit more challenging than you thought you signed up for, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Go out and check out some of the other mobility workouts that I have available. I've got a ton of stuff that's really beginner friendly. I've got seated mobility workouts on there. I've got things where you stay totally on the floor or totally standing. I got a ton of stuff on there, so check it out. Last one. Hold that plank, bringing those hips down, and we walk our foot forward into a runner's lunge. Go ahead and drop the knee and push back into a hamstring stretch. Ooh, big difference this time around. Lower back is feeling better. Hamstrings feeling looser. I'm able to straighten out my back a little bit more. Remember, you can use yoga blocks or any other kind of prop to bring the floor closer to you. I love a prop, I love a tool, I love anything that helps more people access movement. Last one, lift that knee up off the ground, switch to the other side, come back down. You know, I might have made a little mistake on this one. Keep going. I can't remember if I left the knee down on the floor the entire time during the first set. So if I did, whoopsies. Don't worry about it. Whatever variation you choose, that's fine. As long as you're continuing to feel a stretch in this hip flexor as you bring the hips forward and in the back of the hamstring as you straighten out the leg. Hips are gonna be so warmed up because this next move that we're gonna do, I personally think is the most challenging in our circuit. Last one here. Tuck the toe, lift back into a runner's lunge, plank, and relax on the floor. You can roll those wrists out, give them a couple little flicks. Next movement is a butterfly position to a 90-90 hip. I'm making a butterfly with my feet or diamond shape. Either way, the soles of my feet are touching. I lift this leg up, I lift it up and around, and then I swing it behind me, so now I'm in a 90-degree on both legs, and then I reverse that. I lift it up, back to that diamond position. Go ahead and join in when you're ready. I'm doing this with no hands, which means I'm using a lot of core strength and a lot of hip flexibility here. You might need to put your hands down behind you or like move them around. That's okay, do what you gotta do. Good, we're gonna switch to the other side. I'm just gonna roll so that I don't hit my backdrop. Second leg lifts, up and over and behind. Once again, this hip is tighter. Now this butt cheek on the working leg, it is gonna lift off of the ground, that's okay. And some people feel like some cramping in their hip as they're doing this. Yeah, you're using those hip flexors a lot to lift up that leg and swing it behind you. One more. Whew, felt the burn in that. Okay, take a seat, however is comfortable for you. Lifting the arm up. We reach that hand far away from us. We circle it around behind, bend the elbow, place the hand on your back, unwind. I'm gonna show you that from the back angle so you can see what I'm doing. I lift the arm up, I rotate it as I pull it behind me, bend that elbow, place the hand on my back, and then I reverse it. Let's do the other arm. Lifting up, ooh, a little shoulder pop there. Place it on the back and unwind. We're gonna alternate arms. Now, if you are moving quickly through this, you're just throwing your arm out there in a circle, you're gonna get nothing out of this movement. I'm going slowly through this. I'm reaching the hand as far away from me as possible. I'm trying to rotate as far as my shoulder will let me in a pain-free range in every position that I'm going to. Be intentional with these movements. We're gonna do one more round, starting with that 90-90 butterfly hip switch. We'll finish with that shoulder sweep, and I'm gonna add one little bonus in for you. Let's go 3, 2, 1. We lift the leg, up and over to this side, sweep it around, and reverse. This is another movement where I do want you being mindful. Are you just leaning forward to get that leg up, or are you actually lifting it, using your strength to get it up and over? I think we have time for one more. Really thoughtfully lifting that leg. Now lift it in the back, trying to lean forward as little as possible. Great, other side. Ooh, I'm working up a little sweat here. Thoughtfully lifting that leg, hip flexors doing a lot of work. I bring it out to this side. I do have to shift my weight, that's okay. We do the best that we can. Now I'm thoughtfully lifting it off of the floor to reverse that circle. think the more thoughtful that we are with our movements, the more that we get out of exercise. And I also think that can help support your goal of having a better relationship with movement, if that's what you're going for. Because thinking about and concentrating on what your body is doing for you, as opposed to maybe like the end goal of losing a certain amount of weight or fitting a certain size pants, that can really help your connection with your body. Relax. On this prone shoulder sweep, this is the last thing that we're gonna do today. I'm gonna have you add in a neck turn. We lift the arm up, it reaches behind us, and now I look away. Looking away from that elbow, unwind. Other side goes. Looking away from that elbow. So now we're not just stretching out the shoulder, we're stretching out the neck as well. If you're not getting your arm as far over as I am, remember, our bodies are all different. There are some things you can do that I can't do. We're just always trying to improve from wherever we are at. Ooh, almost forgot my neck look. Let's do one more on each side to finish up. Last one. Oh, release. I hope that your body is feeling amazing after really giving it some TLC, moving all of those joints around. If you liked this workout, please give the video a like, subscribe to my channel. I've got a bunch of more sessions that are just like this on the channel. My name is Natalie Carey. Thank you for being excellent to yourself today.